friends. Welcome to episode 28 of A Drink from Upstream. And as you know, it is springtime, and with springtime, a little bit warmer weather. This last week, we had incredibly warm weather, which reminded us all that what summer's like around here. And if you're like me, it made me think of like going camping and spending some time out in the woods and that sort of thing. And so I was thinking about this with regard to a passage of scripture that has acted for me like a corner stake. When you're putting up a tent, you know, if you're putting a tent up, you put the corner stakes out first, and you kind of anchor your tent. And this verse for me it's been an anchor for me. It reminds me of things that are very important in a very succinct way. So it's out of Psalm 37, and it's verse 4, and it says this: "Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness." So kind of four really short statements that encompass a great deal of life that can really keep us grounded, kind of be a corner stake for us. So the first thing that we're encouraged toward is to trust in the Lord. Now, we know that God is trustworthy. We know that He's faithful, but sometimes we forget it. Sometimes we need to be reminded to do what we know we can do, and that is to trust in the Lord. And life comes at us at a high pace, and sometimes it really can just sweep us off our feet. The things that we're facing and going through can be really tough. So I want to remind you today, if you're going through something that has kind of immediately caused you to be afraid, to cause you to wonder about your own future, those sorts of things, I want to encourage you, trust in the Lord. He is faithful. Put all of your trust in Him. Rely upon Him. Lean into Him. He will sustain you. So trust in the Lord. Then it says to do good. So we're not supposed to just avoid evil. We're not supposed to be passive or idle in this world. We're supposed to do good. Even as it says in Romans 12, we are not to be overcome by evil, but to overcome evil with good. So we first trust in the Lord, and then we do good. So let me ask you this. Think about your life. Think about the things that you're engaged in. Hopefully they're not just neutral things. Hopefully they're not just dutiful things, but they're good things. Things that you can say, yes, that's actually inherently good. Things that you're doing with your family, your children, your parents, your neighbors, your church family. Hopefully you can say yes to that. Trust in the Lord and do good. And then it gives us one that's really kind of interesting. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land. That for me reminds me to live life, to engage in life. And sometimes as a pastor, as some of you know, ministry is kind of an all-consuming thing, and you can get so inundated and so saturated with things with regard to the church that you forget that you're actually supposed to have a life outside of the church, that your life as a human being and your life as a follower of Christ is not completely and entirely to be defined by the ministry of the church. So that reminds me that, hey, I need to go out and clean up my flower beds. That's part of dwelling in the land. I need to take my family out to dinner. I need to spend some time with extended family and friends. I need to find things that are fun to do because I'm supposed to dwell in the land. I'm supposed to engage with my neighbors, etc., etc. So that's another part of that kind of grounding, kind of that fortifying reminder, kind of a corner stake where we're supposed to trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, and then this last one, befriend faithfulness. It's a poetic way of saying be faithful, but it's powerful. Think about this. We're supposed to look at faithfulness and say, you are my friend. Sometimes it's hard to be faithful. Sometimes God calls us to do things that are difficult. Sometimes yes comes very challenging for us, but we're supposed to befriend faithfulness. We're supposed to look at faithfulness and say, you know what? You're my friend. And so I hope that's an encouragement to you today. Psalm 37, verse 4, it's that kind of grounding stake for us in life. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. God bless you.